Hey guys, welcome to the Virtual Speaking Podcast with me, Shawnee Sanders. Listen, today we're talking about Instagram captions and what's the big fuss about that. So make sure you guys stay right there and tune in. Let's jump into it. Hey guys, listen, we are back and we're talking about Instagram captions, okay? So let's jump into this. This is a big deal for Instagram. I mean, your captions basically is everything that you want your audience to know about whatever that particular post is, whatever your brand is, whatever your service, your product, whatever it is that you're offering to your audience. So it's so important to have engaging captions. And I know we hear that all the time, like, okay, engaging captions, captions that are savable, captions that are shareable. What does all that mean? And so most of the time, I think people on Instagram feel like, okay, when you write captions, you got to be a really good writer. Like you have to be some person that blogs and you write really well. And you don't. What you have to be is authentic. You want to be authentic with your audience because you want to make sure that you do capture their attention because that's what they're coming for. I mean, let's face it, Instagram is all about photos and now they're really transitioning over into videos. So videos are really working a lot better than just photos these days. But still, the caption matters. So let's talk about how to write engaging captions that will not only get your audience to do an action, but to also share and save later for themselves. So the first thing I think I want to talk about is the headline. And I know you guys might not think there is a headline when it comes to caption, but it is. Because when you think about it, Instagram only show the first, I think maybe five words in your captions. So that is your headline. So you want to start with a really attention-grabbing headline. And there's so many different examples. It could be, did you know this happened? And when you lead with something almost like a question, people are like, okay, let me click on it to see what happened, what she's talking about. Or if you say, have you ever felt like this? So it's just those types of captions that want to lead people to read more. And so I call them leading captions. So you want to write a caption, a headline caption that is a leading headline caption that is going to lead people to read more. So you want to make it either funny, you want to make it a question, you want to make it something that people can relate to in terms of like, today I'm feeling like, and then it reads off until more of your caption. And I think another thing I think we need to talk about and maybe discuss more is the fact the length of the caption. So a lot of time people are telling you, oh, you got to write long form captions because people want to read, they want to really connect, they stay on your page longer. But we also need to understand that people's attention span is short. You know, not everyone is going to read a long form caption. So you can write a long form caption that's going to make sure everyone is on board, that's going to make people read all the way to the end, and then you have your call to action at the end. Or you can write a short caption. You can write a short one. You can write a couple of lines that just really resonates with the audience and make them want to read more and even save that more. So when you share a post like a quote, a motivational quote, something that will inspire people, the last thing people want to see is a long caption. Because most of the time, the quote itself is going to capture them. The quote itself is going to make them want to share. So you could just drop a line and say, hey, does this resonate with you? Drop an emoji down in the comments, like a heart or a high five or a thumbs up. And that will give people enough motivation to say, hey, I like what this comment is saying. It relates to my life at this moment. I'm going to save it. I'm going to share it with my friends because I know some other people that might be going through and might actually need to see this caption. So that's what Instagram captions are about. So it doesn't matter the length of how long you write it, how short you write it, will people save it, will people share it? Just make it authentic and make it something that speaks directly to you, your brand, your product, or your service. You know, but every caption has to end with a CTA, a call to action. And a call to action is something that you want customers or your audience to do. It's a next step. It's the next thing I want you to do. So you read this caption, I'm talking about, let's say I'm writing about Instagram captions. So I'm writing about Instagram captions and I'm giving tips and ideas on how to write better captions, to take the pressure off of people, to understand that, hey, don't put a lot of pressure on yourself to write these engaging captions. Just write from your heart, write what you want your customers to know. I also tell people, write your captions on a separate form. Don't write them in Instagram, get yourself out a Word doc. You can even use Google Docs and put on the Google Voice piece where you can speak your captions and then go back and edit. That's what I do because I find it to be better. I'm really good at talking. so I can talk and I can talk through what I want my captions to say. And then as the Google Voice types it out and records it, and then I can go back then and I can edit it down and add in my emojis and add in all my call to actions. And I think it's just a better process for me when it comes to just writing captions, even writing my blog articles, that really helps me be able to do the Google typing in the Google Voice, because it just works better for me. So you have to find a way to work better for you. You want a plan of action when it comes to writing your captions. So that's why I said write your captions in a separate form. Use a scheduler, use a planner, something that you use to help you plan and schedule and post your Instagram content, because your captions is a huge piece of that. It's so funny how when you think about when Instagram first came out, captions didn't even matter. It was really about the photos, because it was a photo-based app. It was all about sharing photos, all about experiencing life through other people's photos. So it's a photo experience. But now the experience on Instagram has changed, and the algorithm is really another big thing that we're going to talk about, but we'll get into that into another episode. But we want to make sure that you're able to capture your audience and have them experience what your life is and what your product or what your service is that you're offering, and you want to be able to capture that in your captions. So I want to tell you, take the pressure off yourself when it comes to writing captions. Just write from your heart, write what you want your customers to know. Write it in a separate form outside of Instagram. Write in a separate form outside of Instagram, so that way you already know what you're saying, and then you can edit it down and get it to the perfection of what you believe perfection is. So and another thing about captions I want to tell you is that make them engaging, make them funny, like do some funny stuff. Everything doesn't have to be so informative, but you want to, let your customers have fun sometimes. Let your audience have fun sometimes with what you're saying about your product or your service, or if you're building a brand, or if you're just an influencer like me and you're talking about your life. Make it relatable to them. And so because they want to relate to you, they don't just want to read a book, with these long captions, because some people write very long captions to the point where I'm like, okay, I can't even read anymore. I'm just going to get down to the last line and actually see what this person is asking us to do, because it can be too much at sometimes. I see your headline and then I'll go and I click through, but then there's this almost like a book experience that I'm reading on Instagram, when really the platform wasn't really built for that. So you want to write captions that are able to engage your audience from the headline to the call to action. And either that could be in a long form or that can be in a short form. It's really up to you. So a few things I want to tell you to do. Number one, have a catchy headline. Number two, make it about your brand, speaking your brand voice, speaking your influencer voice, speaking what voice you want the customer to understand who you are. Make your captions relatable to your audience. Make them relatable, make them engaging. And sometimes we get so caught up in terms of the word engaging. Everyone says you want to make shareable content, engaging content people can save. And I know it can be so much pressure, because when I first started out on Instagram and I started building my influencer brand, it's a lot of pressure in terms of like, okay, is this going to be shareable? Is this going to be something that people even want to share with other people? People want to save. I'm giving out these tips. I'm sharing my life. What if nobody saves it? So the first thing I decided to say, I'm going to get my head out of that, and I'm just going to write in my voice, and I'm going to write, and hopefully what I write will resonate with an audience and people that I'm trying to capture. And it does. And that's what I mean in terms of like, just be authentic, be yourself. Don't get so caught up in what you have to say, because I got to put this pressure on myself. Relax and just be yourself in your captions when you're writing, especially if you're a person that's like not a writer. You know what I mean? Like, you're just not that type of writer. You're just a person that comes on Instagram and you're writing from your voice, and you're saying, hey, this is just how I talk to people, and I'm just gonna do it this way. And I tell you, you will see how much people will relate to just who you are, because what you have to offer, what you're selling, what you're providing, what you're giving customers, your brand, your influencer brand, it matters to people, and people want to hear what you have to say. So don't think that you're gonna write a caption and someone's not gonna like it, or it's not gonna resonate with anyone. You have something to say, you write it down, and you do the best you can to your ability. Make your captions relatable to whatever photo you're posting, whatever infographic you're posting, whatever you're trying to teach them. Make it relatable. Use your hashtags, and we're gonna really get into hashtags and how many you're supposed to use, how many you're not, how to have a hashtag strategy. It can be super complicated, and we're gonna get into that because I don't know about you, but hashtag has been one of the biggest and hardest things for me to truly capture and really just have a really good strategy behind. But I think I kind of figured it out now, and I want to be able to actually offer that to you guys as my audience and as my listeners and my viewers. And I want to be able to offer you guys some tips on hashtag. My whole purpose, because I'm on Instagram and I'm on all these other social platforms, is to provide you guys with some information, some hacks and tips on how to take the pressure off yourself so you don't have to feel so heavy loaded with all these different things that you want to do, and how to truly be engaging. And look at all these other influencers some are writing long form captions, some are writing short captions, some are writing one word, some are not even saying anything, they're just posting a picture and it gets like 100,000 likes, so I understand where you guys are. I understand the frustration when it comes to caption writing, but I can tell you, pick a day. You have to be organized when it comes to your scheduling your content and planning and writing your content. Be organized. Pick a day where you don't have no distractions, because if you're a mom and a wife like me, you have to pick a time where there's nobody around. You can have some quiet time, and you can say, you know what? I am going to make this happen today. And I have the time to do it, and that's what you do. So you find a way to write your captions and to make sure that you're focused on them and that you're having fun with them too. So don't put that much pressure on yourself when it comes to writing captions. So listen, let's make it engaging. Okay, let's make sure you start with a headline, something that's gonna capture people's attention. Let's make sure you end it with a CTA. Let's make sure that either you decide if you want it to be long form or short, because some people can be very straightforward writers in terms of like, I don't need to write 10 paragraphs to get my message across. I could write one really good paragraph, break that out, and I can get the message across that way. Or either I can drop 2 or 3 lines and everyone knows exactly what I'm talking about. Everyone knows exactly what I'm selling or exactly what I'm offering. Then I don't have to write that long of captions. So we're going to talk more about that in terms of like, everyone is different. Everyone's strategy is different. Everyone's style is different. So you just have to pick your own style. You don't have to write like other people that you follow or other people you see who have huge followings. Because what I noticed that some people who have millions of followers, they don't write a lot of long captions. And it could be because they reach a point where they don't have to, where when they speak to their audience, they already know, because their brand voice has been identified, it has been branded into their audience, and the audience know exactly who they are and what they're talking about. So it's gonna be up to you in terms of how you write your captions. But what I tell you is that take the pressure off yourself. Pick a day where you can plan the caption out properly, where you're not super stressed out about it, where you planned out your content for the week, the next 2 weeks, or the next month, and you got all your captions ready to go. Use some of the ways that can help take the pressure off of you writing the caption. Like I said, use Google Docs in the voice typing piece, where you're able to just speak to every image that you're posting. Speak to it, it'll type it out for you, and then you go back and you just edit. That's all you do. You're editing in, you're adding in different things that you need to do it with. Find a way to work smarter, not harder. That is the method. That is the overall arching goal here, at Virtual Speaking Podcast with me, Shani Sanders, too. It's like, my goal is to work smarter, not harder. There's so many different ways to do things that can really take the pressure off of you and that can really help you out. But there are apps that will help you write captions. There are other influencers that will help you, that you can buy caption ideas from, that would give you ideas and give you caption starters. And if that's something you need, then take that opportunity. Take that, but just know that you don't have to feel so much pressure. Just begin your caption with a catchy headline. Give them something that they can relate to, or something that's going to inspire them, and then give them something to do at the end of it. Give them a call to action. Whatever you want them to do. You want them to leave a comment? Do you want them to click on a link in your bio to get a free, guide of some sort, or to sell a class? Or if you want them to click a link to go to your website and purchase a product where they can get more? What the whole goal is that you want them to have more. The goal is you want them to want more from you, to understand that you are a thought leader in your industry and that you have something that they must have. You have information that they need to hear. So that's what you want, and you do. Do not think that you don't have nothing to say. Don't think that people are not going to listen to you. You have a voice and you have something to offer people, and everybody wants to hear it, including me. So listen, drop me some comments here. Let me know what your Instagram page tag name is, and I will read your post and I will engage because I know you have something to say and I want to hear it myself. So listen, that's all I have for me. So I thank you guys for tuning in. Up next is going to be our tool tip for the day. So make sure you guys tune in. See you later. Hey guys, it is tool tip time with me, Shani Sanders. So here's 5 tools that will help you write better captions. Number 1, make the most of the first sentence. This is your headline. Make it something that's going to capture your audience and want them to read more. Number 2, add value. You have something to say. Either it's educational, either it's inspiring, either it's something that you want to sell. Whatever it may be, add value to your post where people will want to save it, share it, or tag a friend in it. Number 3, use relevant hashtags. This is so important to use relevant hashtags to your post because this is how your posts get discovered. This is how your posts get discovered on the Explorer page. So use hashtag that is relevant to the post you are posting. Number 4, add your own personality to your captions. You have something to say. You have a great personality. You can make it funny. You can make it however you want, but make sure it speaks directly to who you are or speak directly to your brand voice. Number 5, add a CTA, a call to action. You have to give your customers something to do, your audience something to do next. Either that is, hey, follow me for more tips. That might be drop an emoji if this particular post resonates with you. Tag a friend if someone else needs to hear this. Click the link in my bio to purchase my free guide, to purchase my product, or to get my free guide to whatever that is that you want your audience to have. Those are 5 tools and tips that we can give you in terms of writing great captions. Hope you use them, and I can't wait to read your engaging captions. Until next time, bye guys. All right, guys, that's going to do it for me. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Virtual Speaking Podcast with me, Shani Sanders. I really hope you guys found some great information here today about writing Instagram captions. I hope the tool tips really do help you today as well. Remember, take the pressure off yourself. This is your business. This is your voice. You have something to say that everyone wants to hear. And also remember, our model here also is to work smarter, not harder. So make sure you guys tune in next week. Every week we have a new video right here on the channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell to get notifications as to when we post our new videos right here on the channel every week, so you can keep up and make sure you have everything you need to build your business successfully online. See you guys soon.